Thank you very much. It has been quite a busy day for all of us. I personally was demonstrating and leading the proceedings in Hatfield, where I come from, and we marched from queuing in shops through to Parktown. And I would want to report that we were arrested during the procession. We were arrested when we approached Waterfalls Police Station, and 10 of us were arrested, and the police apparently did not charge us, but of course they kept on detaining us until eventually they released myself and another of my security details was also arrested with me. 8 of the team members are actually at Harrison Rock Police Station right now. But I would like to say the demonstration has been a huge success on our behalf as NERA, because what we intended to do was to show the dictatorship that we are determined to call for electoral reforms. And this is what we have done precisely throughout the whole country. Reports are still coming through from across the country of what people managed to do in their own way, and it's quite amazing. The response of the government or the state has been very worrisome. They've used live ammunition in areas including Kwadzana, DZ, Mfakose, and Kambuzuma. Fortunately, none was killed. We don't have reports of deaths so far. But there've also been abductions. Last night they went across different areas. They were abducting activists. We have reports of at least 20 activists who have been abducted. And we are determined to push through, to continue pushing this. Next week on Friday, the 23rd of September, we are continuing with the demonstrations. What we are going to do is we'll have another round of demonstrations across the country in the 210 constituencies like we had today. And thereafter, we'll be demonstrating every Friday. We will not even go and notify the police, because now we know that we notify them or not, they still go ahead and disrupt the peaceful demonstrations. I'll just run through some of the statistics we've been receiving. We have over 100 people reportedly arrested so far. We're still compiling the figures. They are still coming through from across the country, but so far we've received reports of over 100. I can just run through specific areas. In Kwadzana, activists have been arrested and abducted. 10 were abducted by a white Ford Ranger single cab with South African registration plates. This is quite a worrisome activity, because it has also been reported in various constituencies of vehicles with South African reg plates abducting people. And this is a very worrisome thing which we will have to take with the South African government as well. In Hatfield, I've already narrated what has happened, and those arrested include Mrs. Munjira, who is actually an MDCT senator. She is actually in police custody right now at Harrison Rock Police Station. In Mavuku, activists and demonstrators were heavily assaulted. We've got a number of injuries to some of the people who have been assaulted. In fact, we have a number of people who are currently at Avenues Clinic, who are admitted at Avenues Clinic, who have been hurt or injured during the processions of the demonstrations. In Sunningdale, police used tear gas. They tear gassed the whole suburb, and what happened is that many children are affected by the tear gas. Quite a number of them actually are reported to have fainted. In Bindura, over 30 protesters have been arrested, including MDCT leadership in Bindura. They are part of the people who have been arrested in Bindura. Zhishavane, 16 protesters were arrested, and what happened after the arrest is that the rest of the protesters actually gathered at Zhishavane police station to demand their release. And this is the situation that we have as at giving this report. In Mashonaland East, we also have reports of police using AK-47 to disrupt and to intimidate people, and this was quite rampant across Mashonaland East, including in areas like Mudzi. Manikaland, where people arrested in Mucheke, 5 people were in Macheke, 5 people were arrested in Macheke, and they are detained at Macheke police station. Chipinge, we got reports of hundreds of armed police roaming the streets and harassing and intimidating people. We also have reports of injuries that happened across some districts in Manicaland. Currently, Zimbabweans for Human Rights are on the job. They are assisting us to deal with those who have been arrested and are at police stations. So far, we've got various activists of those who have been arrested. We've got hordes of lawyers. We've got lots of lawyers who are representing them currently, but their charges have not yet been specified. What we are aware of so far is that 10 of those arrested in Hatfield have been charged under Section 37. They have been charged for participating in a gathering with intention to promote public violence, which is actually Section 37 of the Constitution, which is actually crazy for the police to charge people for gathering with intention to cause violence, when in fact none of the demonstrators today were violent. It's on record, the police know it, that no one at all was violent throughout the demonstrations. So we condemn in the strongest sense as NERA what has happened today. We condemn the police for fighting and violating people's rights enshrined in our constitution, and this will not at all intimidate us as a people. And as NERA, the fight for electoral reform, we've always known that it's not going to be a stroll in the park. It's not going to be easy, but we are determined to push until there is reform before the 2018 elections. And so we want to send a very clear message to the government and to the regime that we are determined and we are not going back. So yes, definitely the next action is on Friday, and then we'll be back in the streets and we'll be non-violent in our actions until the government gives in to the people's demands. Thank you very much for coming.
Kana muchida kuvewo kutanga kunzwa nyaya dzakadai mazuva ese, garai makateya pa YouTube nekuklika button rakanzi subscribe. Munobva maita wokutanga pa ZimdiTv News kunzwa zviri kuitika.